the Beverly Hills in its current iteration only kind of became that after the fall of the Shah, when all these Iranians came to Los Angeles. And
Hey, Persians. You never call them Iranian. They like to be called Persian.
Is that a fact?
Is that true?
Yeah. Oh, they love. It's got to be Persian.
Yeah, but they come from Iran.
I know, but they hate that. They say they correct you and they go, "I'm Persian."
But what is Persia though? Because is Persia more than just Iran? Is that what it is?
It just is more for them. It's more. It has more cachet.
Okay,
it's like I'm Persian. They
but
always
the Persia is not real anymore.
Exactly. That's what's
it's like
funny
Narnia.
about it.
So remember that show, Beverly Hills 90210? Because it's interesting. You didn't see a Persian,
right?
No. So it was. Now that was, they kind of whitewashed it a bit because they were living there, but now it's really become the epicenter outside of Great Neck, Long Island, of the biggest community of Persian Jews in outside of the country that shall not be named.
Right.
And that's a lot of the culture of Beverly Hills centers around that.
Right. So that's
like they have names like I don't know, Fahamian or whatever, like names that are like Persian-y.
Right.
Yeah, and they when I drove through Beverly Hills with you once, you had a nice observation when you said a lot of people will try to, especially with the economy where it is, they'll try to hide the wealth. The Persians will not. They'll put the mansion right there, big lights, look at me.
There's something about the immigrant experience of coming to another country and dominating.
Right.
And showing that. Whereas I think people that grew up in America or their family's been here for generations and generations try to conceal a little bit of their wealth. Whereas I think if you showed up here a few generations ago and you're really killing it, as no Irish people are, like the Persians, they show it. They came over with the rugs. They got the rug stores.
Yeah.
And they're doing very well. And some of them got into the television and film industry. And they became agents and managers, and they work in the industry to some extent, production companies and studio and whatever.
Yeah.
But they also do a lot of, and I mean, it sounds like a joke, but like it's the best rugs in the world.
Yeah.
That
Persian
section
rugs.
in LA are the best rugs you'll ever find. They ship them all over the country. They're in Aspen, they're in New York, they're everywhere. They ship these crazy rugs all over the country. They do a ton of business with that, fabrics, clothing, things like that. All of that.
And they have infinity money. My friend is a security guard at one of the side jobs he does is he guards a painting in a Persian person's house that's never there. He's there maybe 2 weeks a year. It's a townhouse, 2 townhouses combined into one in Midtown. And he said all his job is he stands in front of this one painting, and there's 3 or 4 of the security guards that stand in front of those. And he said to the boss, who's also Persian, said, like it's crazy, like how much money you guys spend. Like you could just have one guy do it. And he said the guy's response was just stand in front of the painting and keep getting paid.
Right. Yeah.
They don't care about, oh, you're wasting money. Because then my friend's starting to bring up, but like there's it's crazy how there's like a hunger crisis in this country, and then there's this money, and they're like, don't say anything again. Just stand in front of the painting and you keep getting paid.
What's fun about Beverly Hills is that it is silly.
Right.
And it's all the houses look like cheesecake factories. Some of them are beautiful, Spanish style, whatever. Right. But a lot of them are very over the top, gaudy, opulent, little mini fortresses. And they line these streets. And the Beverly Flats is this area where the streets are lined with palm trees.
That's the really fancy part of Beverly Hills.
Well, then there's the hills, which are the compounds, which you can't really see. But then the flats are like houses anywhere from $10 to $30 million. They're just line regular streets. And they're smack dab in the middle of LA. It's some of the most expensive real estate in the world. And then you can literally walk from that area into Beverly Hills, which is what I love about it, because it gives you the feeling like you're in New York, because Beverly Hills is a mini city,
right?
So it has its own police force. They have a 2-minute response time. They're there all they will show up.
Right.
The LAPD has a 45-minute response time if they come.
Right.
Beverly Hills has its own city council that does not necessarily go along with the city council of Los Angeles. For example, Beverly Hills, when there was a mask and a vax mandate to get into restaurants, they did not have it in Beverly Hills.
So in other words, Beverly Hills is in the geographical city of LA, but it's not really a part of LA from the government point of view. They have their own little ecosystem.
It's part of the LA County.
It's like the Vatican.
That's right.
In a way. Yeah.
It's part of the LA County.
Jesse, scroll down a little.
Do you think West Hollywood knows that it's just a favela of Beverly Hills?
Yeah.
Beverly Hills probably looks at West Hollywood like a favela.
I think West Hollywood is where you would go if to just get your dick sucked.
Yeah,
Right, that's what it is.
Right,
Which a lot of these probably Shahs do. They go out a little bit, go down a little Sunset, and they just get a little dick suck, come right back.
It's actually not gay.
Yeah.
It's actually not
No,
gay.
it's called owning a company.
It's called having a friend.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's what it is. So the origins, Beverly Hills started out as ranch land, 1800s, lima bean farmers owned by Mexican ranchers and American settlers. And then there was a water drought. Then the residential community called Beverly Hills came. Now, the early fame of this is interesting, that Beverly Hills Hotel,
It's the first building.
first building ever there. Charlie Chaplin lived there. 1920s stars Douglas Fairbanks, Mary Pickford. I've never heard of. Have you ever heard of these people? I've only ever heard of Charlie Chaplin.
I've heard of Chaplin. I've heard of Fairbanks. I haven't heard of Pickford.
So Beverly Hills, what I always like, a city with a mafia connection. Bugsy Siegel, the infamous Jewish mobster. What people have to understand is back in the day, everyone talks about romanticize the Italian mafia.
Right.
The Jewish mafia, very, very, very powerful, would kill people.
Right.
Were the same. Bugsy Siegel was like a John Gotti.
Right.
Same thing. And these guys were Beverly Hills. So if you want mafia, you think, oh, but the Hamptons are in New York. No, more mafia here in Beverly Hills.
Yeah, well, back in the day, they were really running more of the entertainment business, right? So there were, if they got behind somebody and they wanted them in a film,
Right.
it was like they're going to break someone's legs until that person's in the film.
That's just how it was.
That's just how it was.
Yeah, so back then you think nepotism and connections was even more powerful in Hollywood.
It was a huge deal. So,
Right.
I mean, you had like this alliance between mobsters, gangsters, the heads of studios, talent agencies, and that's how that whole business formed.
And yeah, so Beverly Hills, they had in 1985 the Playmate Mansion murder, which I didn't know anything about this. Dorothy Stratton's tragic death shocked Beverly Hills. She was murdered by her ex-husband in West LA, but her ties to Beverly Hills through Hugh Hefner's parties exposed the dark side of the glamorous life. So Hugh Hefner, by the way, was doing the original P. Diddy white parties years before
For sure.
Diddy.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to the Diddy white parties because that's big in the Hamptons. If you want that, you go to the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Right.
But a 1980s Hugh Hefner, I would argue those are the parties that we probably all would have loved to be at.
Well, it took decades for the law to catch up to climb those hills. It's very hard for the police to get up those hills.
Yeah, and when they got up there, they got laid.
Yeah.
So that's the
That's
problem.
the other problem.
Is there an investor's crime? Officer, you want an investor's crime? You want to get your dick sucked?
Right.
Come on.
Well, that's the thing. It's like sexual currency in that town. The town was run for many years. I don't know. I don't even know what runs it now, to be quite honest. I think it's a vassal state of China.
Right.
From the real estate perspective, it's just, 50 to 70% of people buying these big homes are Chinese people. But it was run as sexual currency for a very long time. So directors and studio heads and people like that wanted to have sex with starlets, and then those people ended up getting super famous.
Yeah.
And it's just what it is. Like Beverly Hills, water short is drama. Everyone else, the California was being set on fire, but billionaires were secretly watering their lawns at night. And that's just fine.
That's just what it is.
That's just what it is. People complain about that, but it's like, what do you want? I thought this was capitalism.
Power and money are there for a reason. And, people, you want to get to that point to water your lawn. And by the way, if all they're doing is watering your lawn, be thankful.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.